Hey y'all, hey, and welcome to another session of Meditations with Marigny. So, I wanted to hop on right quick. I always say that. I think sometimes when you do things so naturally, you just say the same thing over and over. All of my videos, I think, start out with that. But tonight, I wanted to come on and chat with you guys for a brief moment. And I want to follow up to a video that I've already posted, but just like content builders, you're always thinking. So your brain is always on the go for what's the next source of information that you can share. And as I was in the vein of talking about the online dating, I want to specifically talk about um, understanding the characteristics of a wife. And specifically, I want to use myself. So I know I could talk about other people and I could, refer to other circumstances, but I kind of want to talk about myself. And tonight I was leaving an event. So I've been to an event, had a good time, great time, but I haven't played pool in maybe about a week and a half or so. And the last time I did play, like I had to rush in, play, and come on out. Like I didn't get to really engage. And so tonight, normally on a night like tonight, after I finish with something, if I still had time, I might run by the spot or a couple of spots and get me a game in. And tonight, I really wanted to do it, right? I'm dressed really nice, look really cute. Y'all can't see it because it's kind of a halterish type top, but looking nice and everything. And I got the itch to go shoot pool. And as I'm driving, my spirit is like, there are some things, again, as a single woman, that you can do. You shouldn't probably be doing it as a single woman, going to shoot pool this late at night. But there are some things you can do as a single woman that you can't do as a married woman. And I want ladies to understand that marriage doesn't start when you get married. The marriage mindset and the wife mindset, it starts while you're in your singleness. And when I tell you I am driving down the interstate and I am having a whole conversation with myself, there is a total battle that is going on. On one side, I'm like, shoot, I ain't been to play. I don't care nothing about that. I just want to get on the table. And that's the other thing. When I do go to play, guys, I'm not there because I'm going to meet somebody. I'm literally going because I really miss playing the game. So in my mind, I was like, well, I think I got $2 in my bag. I have a little bag that I carry when I'm shooting, and I try to keep a few dollars in there. And I said, you know, I could just carry that bag, just take me a couple of dollars out. And it's funny because I'm in the car and I am having a conversation with myself about, Marnie, first of all, it's too late for you to be going out to shoot pool. Secondly, you are dressed too pretty to go into some of the little spots where I go to shoot. Like that, you just need on some blue jeans and tennis shoes to go into one of those spots. But I want to bring to your attention that many of us say that we want something, but what sacrifices are you willing to make for what you really want? If you really desire to be a wife and you desire to walk in the anointing that a wife possesses, you have to prepare yourself for that position prior to getting the job. When we think about job interviewing, there are some people who have on the job training. And any job that we get, yes, you are going to have to learn that job or learn that process. You're going to have to learn that company and their way of doing things. But the general process of taking on the job typically means that you already have some level of understanding of what the assignment is going to be. And so tonight, I really just felt led to come back on and say, be careful what you're asking for, because there is an adjustment that is going to have to happen in order for you to take on that role. So many people take the marriage vows and the marriage commitment so lightly. This world that we live in now, everybody takes it and everybody is looking for what I can get, what I can get, what I can get. Again, you all have heard me say many times in many of my videos that marriage is not about what you can get. Marriage is about what you can give. And when you understand that that is husband and wives are positions of servanthood. It's just an example of what Christ meant to the church. And when you think about what Christ meant to the church and what that relationship is supposed to look like, then you would understand better that it's not just about receiving, but it's about giving. And it's about the more that you give in the relationship, the more that you're going to then receive back. And so as I'm dating now and, going through this whole process of getting to know people, I'm looking at it a lot different. And what it also made me do is I thought about, a couple of the young men that I've met are really people that I could honestly see myself with long term. So when I thought about it, one of the first things I thought is, what would he say if he knew I was going to a spot to shoot pool at this time of night? How would he feel about that? What would be his thought process? Would he have pushback for that? And then would he be in a rightful place? Like if we were talking on the phone or something and he said, hey, I don't want you to stop there. I don't want you to go and play. How would you deal with that? So ladies, you have to understand what it is that you're saying that you're asking for. Because we can ask for something because we see what it might be working for someone else. But I need you to understand that there are sacrifices that go along with that. There are underlining committal expectations that sometimes we don't talk about it, but we know that it's there. Now, I will say I'm being way more verbal. Like I'm talking about hard conversations up front. There are some components that it's like, if I got to tell you that, then that's a problem. And to be honest, with the caliber of man that I would be speaking with and I would be talking with, he would pretty much say, if I got to ask you not to go there at night, then you're not ready for this. So I do want y'all to know I didn't go shoot pool. I wanted to. When I got to the exit, it was almost, I likened it to like somebody, not in a bad way. How can I say it? Somebody that's fiending for something and they like, oh, I want it, I want it, I want it. And I know like when I passed the exit, I almost felt like like I was trying to make a decision. Get off, get off right now. But, I came on home because I'm preparing myself for what I want my future to look like. And, also ladies, thinking about, I don't do anything that I wouldn't want done to me. And if I know that the type of man that I would be interested in dating and being with long term would not feel comfortable with me going into an environment at that type of time of night. And I'll be honest with you, like it may come a point where he might be like, hey, I don't really want you going there at all. And that doesn't mean that it's a bad spot or there's something wrong with it. It just means that in my mind, I am already calibrating and thinking about the process of what that looks like for me as a woman who is strongly considering dating with the intent of being married. You have to start making those adjustments now in your singleness. You cannot wait until you are married to make those adjustments. And when you make them now, then they become much easier to make once you are on the side of being married. So I like to use myself as a personal example because you guys, for those that have been with me since I started my channel, you're going to be able to see the transition like of what God did in the beginning and what he's going to be doing later on in my life. There are some people that I follow and I've maybe been following them for a couple of years, and I've seen God, how he has worked and moved in their life and made changes to them throughout the process of their content building. And so something that they might have said 2 years ago through their growth and their development, and then even just their gained knowledge, they're not saying those same things, or they're not talking the same way, or they may have a different viewpoint of how they see certain things. So tonight, I just wanted to come on and let you guys know that if you are seeking to become a wife, understand that the changes and the adjustments that you have to make, they start now. You can't wait till later. You have to start now. And to be honest, you want to put those disciplines in place yourself so that it's not such a push and pull when you are with your mate. Like it should be more of a conversation piece. And well, baby, I prefer that you not do that. Like I couldn't even imagine me saying, "Hey, I'm finna go shoot pool tonight." Oh, that would have been and we ain't even for real, for real. Like just yeah, that would have been a no. I prefer. And he probably would have said it kindly. I prefer that you not go there, but it would have been more of a no. You're not going. So you have to understand, ladies, that get your mind in a position where you really want to think about what it will be like to be a wife, what those positions require, what the expectations are going to be, and how you would manage that, as a woman who is now moving into the married life. One of my girlfriends asked me, she said, "Do you think you're ready for that?" Because she understands that the commitment is different. For those of us that are single, there is just a different lifestyle that she can live. And the same for men. So I want to make sure that you guys understand that I'm very balanced in what I'm saying, because it is a difference for a man. That's one of the reasons why the men in our area, in our era, don't want to give that up, because most of them have been in that position where they were limited with what they could do, who they could hang out with, and how they could function for years. And so now they got a taste of freedom and they like, oh no, I ain't gonna get this up. I'll just get me somebody on the side and me and her kick it here and there or whatever. But at the end of the day, even one of those components that I talk to people about is that they're tired of that too. They're tired of not having someone that they could really build a life with. So many of them really are looking for someone. So ladies, that's why I say make sure that you are presenting your authentic self. Be who you truly are, and then give him the opportunity to see whether or not that's just a good fit for him or not. So tonight, just know that if you're planning to operate as a wife, it starts now in your singleness, not once you get married. So if you guys like this video, I would love for you to click like. I would love for you to share it with a friend. And I would be delighted if you would subscribe. Have a good night, y'all. And guess what? Georgia lost to Alabama. Today is September 27th, 2025. Georgia lost. They lost by 3 points. It's gonna be a hard day tomorrow. Y'all know my house is divided. I got one son that's diehard Georgia, one son that's diehard Alabama. So tomorrow is gonna be one of them days that somebody gonna be walking around with the puppy face. All right, y'all. Have a good night. Bye.